do it, even with this guy right here putting up 38 points, 5 of 12 from the three, perfect from the free throw line. And this is following up his 17 points, battling that stomach illness in Game 3. Were you guys surprised at all that he responded in this fashion?
Absolutely not.
Not at all.
Man, what a game by Luka Doncic. But wasn't enough as Minnesota gets the win. Let's go ahead and hear from Luka Doncic after the.
Luka, how do you handle the emotional swing of, holding on to win this game when you led it for much of the game, and including late, and then being losing and being down 3-1 as you go home? How do you process that as an individual and as a team?
It's definitely disappointing, but nothing has lost. No, we haven't lost nothing yet. It's first win, 4 wins, and we just gotta still believe.
And we know that you were not feeling well last game. Can you take us through the last couple games, last couple days, and how you felt and how you're able to respond for today?
Yeah, I mean, mostly laying down, just not doing anything, just trying to get some rest. Today I felt better. There's no excuse not winning this game.
Luka, you guys were tied pretty late into the game in Game 3. Obviously, we're up 10 here in the fourth to start the quarter. What has it been down the stretch? Do you think that's come back to hurt you guys? And do you think fatigue played any factor in it?
This is the playoffs. Fatigue shouldn't play any role in this. Play a lot of minutes, but that shouldn't play a role. I think they just executed better on the offensive end during the last minutes.
JJ said he thought you were tripped in the final minute. What was your kind of take on that sequence?
What do you think? I got tripped or no?
I honestly didn't have a great vantage point from where I was sitting. So.
Oh, I think I got tripped for sure. We had to call timeout.
Is there any part of being a competitor that you look at this situation and you're like, okay, like we literally have 3 must-win games, and stepping forward into that challenge?
Yeah, it's a fun challenge, and we should have extra motivation, to win these next 3 games. It's going to be very hard. Every possession is going to matter. We got to go 100% no matter what.
What was supposed to happen on the inbounds play after you called timeout? What was supposed to happen? I think you guys only had 1 second, right, on the clock to get it across midcourt. And how did that sort of impact what you guys were able to do?
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 screens, so either me or AR should receive the ball. I thought LeBron was going to throw it there. He thought I was going to put it there. So it's kind of miscommunication, and I got to do better in those situations. That's on me.
Good. You guys scored a series-high 36 points in the third. They were mixing in some hedging and blitzing, which was different than how they've been guarding you earlier in the series. Can you guys take away anything from that if they're not going to that defense and just the way that you guys attack them and we're generating open corner threes and getting downhill? Can you guys find a way to do that more consistently?
Yeah, I think the ball was flowing in a great rhythm. We were just finding each other. We were playing aggressive. We were touching the paint, which is the most important. And, we got to look at that third quarter. But it all came from defensive end.
Oftentimes in games like these, we'll focus on the clutch time, end of games, to kind of figure out what didn't go right or what did go right. But you guys could have went up by double digits end of first, and then it was only a 4-point lead. They took that lead into halftime. How critical were those end of quarter moments for you guys, where it seemed like Minnesota, first quarter, second quarter, really won those moments?
We were up by 10 in the end of third, so I don't think they played the big part. We just gotta hold on to the lead. We can't relax. We gotta keep doing what we did to get a lead, and that's how we gotta play.
Thanks, Luka.
Thank you.
With shot making, maybe?
I mean, he's always going to be a shot maker, but obviously when you can take away his assists and only let him impact the game one way, that's why you saw the traps, taking the ball out of his hand, not letting him play one-on-one. I mean, a lot of hockey assists, but not necessarily a lot of assists that lead into baskets. But it did open up, the game for Austin Reeves in that second half. He got some open looks. Rui got some open looks as well. So you never want to let a great player, see consistent defense throughout the game. And obviously he had a great first half, but okay, you start mixing things up, taking him out of the rhythm, start showing some double teams. Yeah, other guys may get going, but he's not in a constant rhythm. And obviously playing 46 minutes, I think definitely played a factor in fatigue going to him in the fourth quarter.
Wes, was that strategic on Minnesota's end to just try and take away other parts of his game if you know he's going to score?
Yeah, there's certain guys in this league where, you know, like Devin said, you want to make them very one-dimensional. You know, Luka, you know, Bron, Jokic, guys like that, where they can facilitate for everybody else, and now everybody's eating. That makes them even tougher. I look at this; it's kind of a weird game. Like only 2 people from the Lakers shot free throws, and you know, Bron had 8 assists. Luka, those guys are still trying to figure each other out a little bit. So Bron maybe is being more of the point guard type. Like Devin said, trapping him. They're getting the ball out of his hands, making other guys be the playmaker and not just Luka. And on the rebounding front, I mean, I can speak for this. It's hard to get rebounds when you got to guard the ball. And they're putting Luka in a lot of these actions. And so a lot of Luka's rebounds come from being the weak side, being kind of off the guy in the corner where he can get the outlets and throw away. When you involve him, you take away some of that.
As Luka said, the series.
This team got to the Western Conference Finals on Anthony Edwards' back, and he's trying to lead them back to that going through the Lakers, and he's bringing effort on both ends.
Wesley, as good as Anthony Edwards is he the most annoying guy to have to play against when he plays like that, and just his confidence? I mean, yeah, you're
gonna have to and his ability to play make and facilitate. We see that growth with him right now with 6 assists, but we know he's gonna shoot threes. We know he can put you in the basket. Him starting to figure out the intangibles, the leadership stuff, taking on the challenges stuff, yeah, that's a scary man.
Anthony Edwards, 5 of 10 from the 3. Those offensive rebounds absolutely killed the Lakers. They had 18 for Minnesota to the 11 for those Lakers. But we haven't even talked about guys like Julius Randle, too. He put up another 20-plus point game. We mentioned it in the pregame show just how phenomenal he's been, especially in this postseason, in this playoff series, and he delivered once again tonight.
His physical presence, right? Taking advantage of the small defenders, playing bully ball down low, his ability to shoot the 3. But like I said, he didn't play in the playoffs last year, so he's been waiting for this type of moment. And obviously, when they made the trade for Carl, for him, he wants to prove that his worth is down there. And I think you do that in the playoffs, and he's bringing a different level of intensity. And he's a matchup problem too. JJ said in his press conference, you know, we have to give up something. But obviously, he's giving you that. When Ants get off the ball, they got to go to another guy that give them a bucket. And Julius Randle can do that in different spots.
Absolutely. He has been phenomenal. Those 25 points in 42 minutes. And, I mean, not to mention for LeBron James and Luka, what they were able to do tonight. I mean, LeBron James is 40 years old. He's playing 46 minutes, 27 points for him. I don't know if it's shocking anymore when it comes to LeBron and you know, his endurance. And I know he obviously works really hard on being able to stay out there. But for both of those guys, we mentioned in the pregame, they both have to deliver, and they did tonight. But who else do we need to see kind of step up if they want to try and extend this series?
I mean, honestly, Reeves was obviously in foul trouble early, so being scoreless, he still picked it up, finished with 17. Luka has 38. Bron has 27. Rui has 23. This is really one of those games where this is a tough-fought NBA matchup where, you know, you don't want to blame anything on a call but that's sometimes how you split hairs. You know, if they keep that call the same and the ball's out of bounds and it's the Lakers' ball, who knows? Maybe we got Luka magic. Maybe we got Bron getting downhill and now it's a different situation. But, you know, it's the margin of victory is so small, and we literally saw that from a Hawkeye camera.
We saw all 5 of those starters play big minutes, except Jackson Hayes, because you had guys coming off the bench like Dorian Finney-Smith with playing those 40 minutes. So now they go back to L.A. for Game 5. I mean, this is obviously the Lakers, you know, they need to make some adjustments. They need to figure out the matchup problems. But how do you foresee this Game 5 back in LA going?
I mean, it's going to be similar to the last 2 that we saw. They're going to be hard fought, but who can execute better? We saw in the early game today, when it comes down to the last 5 minutes of the game, it's going to be a close game. Who can execute better?
Yeah.
Minnesota has proven that, you know, no lead is safe. They can come back from anything. But, you know, you got to be able to get stops. You got to be able to execute offensively. And whoever can do that to the highest of their power is going to probably come